Do you desire growth in your business, life, academics, and other life-related ventures? Join Ugu Samuel the artist
to get the best out of the gift of life that God has given to you
on Unizik 94.1 FM
every Saturday from 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Hello, I welcome you into this broadcast. This is Get Inspired with Ugu Samuel the artist. I make drawings and paintings, supply to my customers within Nigeria and outside. I am also the author of the book Go for Your Wealth. And if you have not been following up and you want to check up some other topics I have shared in this broadcast which you have missed, do visit my YouTube channel, Get Inspired TV. Some artworks just for your viewing pleasure. Visit my Facebook page, Ugu Samuel Creation. Once again, I welcome you into this broadcast. What an awesome time to have a time out with you. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you on the topic I titled, Your Belief Can Make It Possible. Sometimes I do ask myself, why is it that amidst all blessings that exist here on earth, some individuals seem as though they came into this world to enjoy it, while others just came to be observer, while some others, generally known as the poor masses, tend to be as though they are at the receiving end of every wrong policy, of every challenge and tough moment in life. That's why I decided to share this topic with you. Your belief can make it possible to live that life you dream for. I'm here with a good news. Your belief can make it possible. There is no limit to what one can achieve in this life. The only limit, as is generally said, is the limit in the mind. That is true. Sometimes the outcome of our daily activities is as a result of our belief system in what we believe that is possible within us. Sometimes I do ask myself also, if belief can put food on the table, can make ways for us to achieve great results in life, why is it underutilized? Why is it that despite the benefits, belief system, having faith that something will happen positively for you, why is it that it is unutilized or underutilized? The truth is, as simple as belief is, it requires energy, it requires consistency, it requires deliberate, conscious effort towards seeing that that which you believe comes alive. Permit me to share some storyline with you. The story of Jesus walking on water, where after Jesus finished preaching to the multitude and he went to pray, and while he was praying, the disciples that have been with him during that ministry were in the ship. Jesus supposed to have entered that ship with them, but as duty calls, spiritual duty calls, he needed time for separation. He separated himself. And the Bible made us to understand in that particular place, which is Matthew 14, verse 22. From 22 to 36, he went to a mountain to pray. After he have fed the multitude with 5 loaves and just few fishes, multiplying it and feeding the multitude. After which he went to pray while the disciples entered the ship, preparing to depart from that particular environment. The ship moved near somewhere in the middle of the sea. Guess what? When Jesus finished praying in his secret place, he walked on water to meet the disciples in the ship. Something amazing happened. While he was walking on water, gaining distance to meet them in the ship, the disciples saw him and were all terrified. And they were so terrified that they called him Spirit. And when Jesus came closer, he made it clear to them that he's not spirit, but himself. While he was trying to convince the disciples just to help their little faith, one out of the disciple, which is the focal point of this teaching in belief system, the person's name is Peter, out of the dilemma made a statement, Lord, if it be thou, meaning if it is you, bid me to come. That's how King James puts it. What he meant is, Jesus said, you said you are not a spirit. That's good to know. Oh yeah, tell me to come. And I see a man of faith, he did. And I see a man who decided to push aside fear, push aside his flaws, push aside his limitations, push aside the norms, the cultural cave, the normalcy that is happening in the society. Despite everybody being terrified, it is just only Peter that decided to dare new things, dare something that have not been done before. He said, bid me to come. Trust God now. He loved those who can leave themselves for a moment and believe something that is unbelievable, because he is a God of impossibility. Of course, God trusted and loved that statement Peter made, because it is a statement of belief. Then Jesus bade him to come. And guess what? Peter walked on water. It is on record, and history has it that Peter walked on water. And then there is no archaeologist, there is no historian, there is no new book that will erase that fact that Peter walked on water. All because of his belief system. All because he decided to just think outside the box just for the very first time. You listening to this broadcast, I have bring good tidings to you. And I'm telling you that it's time you walk on your own water. It's time you believe yourself that that dream that you have, that vision that you have, no matter how little it is, no matter how little you think your effort is in achieving it, it is possible. It is possible. There is nothing impossible before you because you have God that will help you accomplish great visions. God is an astute businessman. He loves to see those who can think big. He loves to help those who can accomplish great results. See David, despite his young age, despite how incomparable he is towards the army of Israel, but when God saw that he believed that he can kill Goliath, he wasn't looking at his physical strength. He wasn't looking at anything physical. He was just believing that that vision of killing Goliath, that vision of accomplishing great goal, that it's not about him, but about the supernatural that have put that vision in him. That supernatural will definitely make it to come to pass. Now, it is not about your situation, it's about the step you should take or you are expected to take to make that result be of a favor to you. So, Peter walked on water. That is the record. I'm talking to someone today, and I strongly believe God is always willing to help. He is always willing to help you achieve the dream that is bigger than you, that you wish to accomplish in this life. He is willing and able to make you the employer of labor. You could be, somebody looking for job from one office to another. Don't you think it's one of the few signs that you will become a job creator? Inviting and employing people over 100 staffs over the years, if you can only strongly believe in your vision and take action towards it. Any vision without action is like hope, which would eventually fade into the thin air, and you can't hold it and you can't account for it. So, whatsoever thing the vision is, the idea is, the inspiration is for you to accomplish in this life, it is possible. I used to define belief system to be in my own language. How I define it is to hope that something will eventually happen. You have that hope to the extent at which, if it doesn't happen, it will be a surprise to you. That hope becomes a high, tangible belief that it's so real in your mind that if it happens today, it no longer becomes new to you, because the tangibility of the belief system in your mind have already established it even before it comes physically. Belief system, faith, as simple as it is, it requires discipline. It requires deliberate, conscious effort towards seeing it to happen for your own favor. Now, somebody will say, is it only hope that we need, or belief system we need to accomplish all that we need to accomplish in life? There are many others, but the hallmark of the whole thing is, without faith, Bible said that it is impossible to please God. In success, in life, in the journey towards life, without faith, without belief system, it is impossible to live a successful life. Without faith and without your belief, it is impossible to achieve some great height that you dream for, that you hope for, that you want to accomplish before you depart from this earth. Belief system is the key to achieving great results. Of course, you must have a dream in your mind. You must conceive a dream before you can have a dream come true. There is no dream come true without the conception of a dream. A dream has to be conceived, just the way a baby is being conceived, and then nurtured in the stomach, and then eventually get delivered. And from the infancy to kid, from kid to adult, that's how visions are. That's how dreams are. No matter what you dream for, it all starts in the first level, belief system. No matter how palatable your vision is, no matter how rosy it is, if you don't attach strong belief system that it's going to be possible, it will never happen. Oh yes, there's no two ways about it. While I was studying in Nnamdi Azikiwe University during undergraduate school days, I made a decision that I want to be the best student in my set. And despite the financial challenge from my family, having no sponsor to pay my school fees, I decided to maintain a positive approach towards believing that I'm going to do business while studying, and I'm going to sponsor myself all through school, and I will eventually graduate as the best graduating student. All this analysis were what I personally took time to work on my belief system in my mind, believing that it's possible, believing that there is nothing that will stop me. Through the help of God, I am unstoppable. And eventually, God made it possible because I believed. If I had never believed that it's going to be possible, logically, it is impossible. How could you tell and analyze a tertiary institution that is demanding, tax demanding, intellectually, activity-wise, yet everything was well managed, perfectly well, in such a way that you achieved various successes at the various level? The reason why I'm making this citation from my own angle is I'm telling you a personal experience on what belief system can do for you. Belief system is the hallmark of everything that deals with achievement, with life achievement. Sometimes some individual do call me and ask me how possible it is that somebody, he or she, is more intelligent over, made first class, and he himself or herself is making lesser grade. How come? How did it happen? And one simple statement I normally drop for them, and they realize where the missing link was, is that person who eventually had that best graduating student award or made that first class ahead of you, despite the fact that you taught him during GS, during undergraduate days. The difference is because that person was more conscious about what he or she wanted. You had all it takes to make a bigger, better grades, but you didn't apply your mind to it, and you allowed it to slip past you. That is just the difference. Now, as simple as deliberate effort is, it requires a discipline to apply, and that's what I'm talking about in this belief system. Belief system must be deliberate. Your belief makes it possible. Back to Peter walking on water. He walked on water, and Bible recorded it that he walked on water, and there's no history that will take that away. He walked on water, he walked on water. Now, here are a few things I want you to note before the end of this broadcast. The first is, everyone has fear in them. What distinguishes you in life? To put your fears into control. Of course, it takes somebody who stands out to be outstanding. Fear is normal, fear is general, but what distinguishes the brave from the coward is that the brave act in spite of fear. No brave person today, if you do your research very well, no brave person today who have achieved great results you aim for, you wish for, and you've seen no brave person today that would blatantly tell you that he doesn't have fear. Everyone has some atom of fear in them. Yes, fear is good, but when it comes to daring new things, you have to act in spite of fear. To achieve great result, to achieve great height in life, you have to act in spite of the fear. Are you getting what I'm saying? There must be a clear balance here. Fear is not totally bad, but when fear becomes bad is when you become too comfortable to dare new things in your career. So, provided that thing will give you financial freedom, dare it. Provided it's going to make a new thing in your career, dare it. And God is always willing to support those who think big, those who believe that it's possible. The disciples, they were all afraid, and they called Jesus Spirit. That is a sign of being afraid. They were terrified seeing somebody walking on a sea. But despite all that, Peter chose to see differently. I urge you, please, try to see differently today. That business you've tried and it didn't work out fine, why not try one more time? Try again. Just keep trying. Trying until, provided you are convinced that is you are going to have your breakthrough in it, provided you are convinced. Keep trying. Keep pushing. You don't need to cut once before an Eloko 3 falls. You have to cut several times. You have to cut several times. So when you try and fail, you are cutting. Try again, fail, you are still cutting. Try again, you fail, you are still cutting. Just a little while, the tree of life, the tree of challenge, the tree of limitation, the tree of barrier will eventually fall to your own favor. It will only fall. That is when you don't give up. So please, keep your hope alive. Keep your belief alive. Remember, the topic I'm sharing with you is your belief can make it possible. No matter what the vision is, your dream can make it, your belief can make it possible. The next point I want you to understand is that you have not done it before doesn't mean that it's not possible. The disciples were all afraid. They were terrified. They never believed that it's possible for somebody to walk on water. Why? Because none of them have believed themselves into trying to walk on water through faith. But Jesus did it because Jesus himself had faith to do it. He believed. So that you have not achieved some certain level of success in life doesn't mean that it's not possible. Just like some low class in the society, when anybody becomes financially buoyant, the person will start to say Ndiogwego, will start to ascribe the person as a Yahoo kind of guy, a fraudster, or somebody who did the ritual. No, brothers, sisters, mommy and daddy, it is not all wealth that is gotten from ritual or fraudulent means. There are some who are making cool cash monthly, weekly, daily, from genuine business, from genuine hustle. There are so many who are making millions. Instead of going to criticize them at their back, telling them that it's not possible for somebody to make such amount of money monthly, why not just hide your ego somewhere and go to them and say, please sir, can you give me some wealth of experience on how to make money? If the person can oblige you, he will teach you simple steps and you become financially independent and you keep moving on in your life. The worst thing that can happen to any human being is to be poor and still have ego on top of it. That is double tragedy. Ego not to stoop too low to learn from somebody, even if the person is younger than you and he is achieving great result and he is achieving positive result. Go, just drop your ego one side. It is better to become successful in this life than to hold on to your ego and wallow in poverty and wallow in ignorance and allow opportunity to keep passing you by. That's a foolish thing to do. So, amidst your belief system, ask for how those things are being done. So if you don't believe that it's possible to make millions, have a breakthrough in your business, then it's not going to be possible for you. But if you believe that it's possible, of course, it will surely be possible for you. So there is no limitation, there is no holding back towards those things you believe that God should do for you. So the disciples, they were all afraid, all because they have never walked on water before. So when Jesus was doing it, they were terrified. They called Jesus Spirit, all because they feel it's not possible. Like some used to call some wealthy men ritualists, all because they have not seen the possibility in becoming a millionaire in their lifetime. They have not seen the possibility in becoming financially independent in their lifetime. God is always willing to help those who are willing to believe in Him. The last point I want to leave with you in this broadcast is separate yourself from the multitude to have time alone in prayer and generate power. Sometimes the major source of our idea, the major source of our experiences in life are from the society, people around us, people who are allowed to influence our respective lives. Sometimes set time alone, separate yourself from the social media, separate yourself from your friends, separate yourself from your family members, separate yourself and have time alone and pray to your God, and have a time and meditate and see your tomorrow. Think through, plan your future, separate yourself. There are so many activities to always be taking your attention, but the best moment to generate power is to have a time alone. Jesus, after feeding the multitude, the Bible made us to understand in that Matthew 14:22-36, he separated himself from the multitude, even from the disciples who are his ally, separated himself to pray. And it was after praying and generating that power that he had the power to walk on the sea. So when you have a time alone and you separate yourself and have time alone, you are going to have power to walk on your waters of challenge in life, waters of limitation, waters of unachieved dreams. And by so doing, you become eventually a happier person in your field of endeavor. Alright, it's a great pleasure sharing some inspirational time out with you. I remain your humble host, Ugu Samuel the Artist. Do well by joining us when next. It's a pleasure, but I've got to go. Bye till we meet again.